Today's decision from the federal court is devastating news for Canada's economy, for Alberta workers. This decision suggests that we cannot get major infrastructure built that creates wealth, prosperity, and jobs. The federal government, I believe, acted in good faith in undertaking Aboriginal consultations. But how can the government respond to an ever-moving legal standard? The National Energy Board was clear in its decision that it did not have jurisdiction to regulate marine traffic. These are issues that should not be, at this stage, after $1 billion and years of reviews, endless consultations, we should not be going back to the drawing board yet again. Don't forget, this is on top of the Northern Gateway pipeline being canceled by Justin Trudeau, the Energy East pipeline being killed. The reason why we become so dependent on the Trans Mountain pipeline expansion is because these other routes have been shut down by a federal government that talks tough on Canada's energy industry but doesn't act accordingly. This is why Kinder Morgan left Canada. They could see this ongoing uncertainty. That's why they sold out. And unfortunately, taxpayers are now left holding the bag. So we would call on the Government of Canada immediately to appeal today's decision to the Supreme Court of Canada and to immediately pursue whatever additional consultations the federal court is demanding. On top of that, we'd call on Alberta's NDP to withdraw the carbon tax, which supposedly was going to get pipelines built. Today's decision is not about electoral politics. It does, however, remind us that Alberta's NDP has been wrong from day one in promising pipeline construction as a result of punishing Albertans with a carbon tax. We've been paying that carbon tax now for a couple of years. It's made the cost of everything higher, but it's done nothing to get us the so-called social license. The groups that went to court, that won today, were not persuaded by this carbon tax. They don't care that Premier Notley and Justin Trudeau are going to raise that carbon tax by 67%. They don't care how much Alberta consumers are punished by. They will continue to do everything they can, legally and illegally, to stand in the way of the development of Canada's resources. Today is a win for the OPEC dictatorships. It's a win for Donald Trump. He gets to continue to buy Canadian oil at a steep discount while reselling American oil to the rest of the world at a much higher price. The OPEC dictatorships in Saudi Arabia, Venezuela, and Iran and Qatar, Vladimir Putin's autocracy in Russia are smiling today because it seems like Canada is incapable of selling our ethically produced energy in the global markets. So it's bad news for Canadian workers, but it's good news for Donald Trump and the OPEC dictatorships. That's the real practical result of today's court decision. I think it's a bad day for Alberta, but we won't stop fighting. And as I've articulated, a future United Conservative government will have a fight-back strategy to massively increase our effort to get global access for Alberta and Canadian energy.